Continue to
Night, the city of Lagos
There is still a poor level of
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa, we break the news.
one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core
A
TV.
24-hour news station.
Beautiful Thursday morning here in Lagos. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us in your ultimate news and current affairs show here on Core TV News. We call it Core Digest, where we bring you all the stories imagined. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Quite a number of things seems to be happening together this season. Of course, we heard about the former declaration of the former head of state of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, formally declaring his intention to run as an aspirant with the All Progressives Congress. That is also coming side by side with the handing over taking place today in the land of Ono, Ekiti State, where Fayemi is passing the baton over to the governor-elect Ayodele Fayose. Quite a lot of interesting stories coming up from there. The new governor is bringing about 1,000 clerics to cleanse the government house. We'll also be joined by our correspondent in Ekiti State this morning to find out what the mood is like. What exactly are the things happening in that particular area today? But before we go into all of that, we brought you a report yesterday about the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. And of course, you heard about the coordinated campaign coming after 6 months of the abduction of over 200 Chibok girls from Borno State. Now, quite a number of things happened, but there was a particular drama that took place between the campaigner, the head of the campaign, the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, a former education minister, and the Minister of Water Resources. We'll play you that report, and then when we come back, we'll dwell more a little on that before we open the show today. Stick around.
He needed to prove power. What power are you proving?
I don't know.
I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Who is he, sir? You know the reforms that were not about transactions. You know the reforms that were about reforming the institutions of education. Shame on you, Sarah. The reforms in education that she knew about, just because she happens to be in a situation where discrediting the reforms she knew about pays her. The day is coming when you will recant what you have said. All right, CV. And I'm doing this. What are the mandate?
You heard that right. It was a campaign that was supposed to be a match to the Asbrook and ended up in trade of words. Obi silly there saying, shame on you, Sarah. And I believe all of that drama happened when one of the girls that escaped spoke in Hausa, and the Minister of Water Resources was alleged to have said that Obi silly was a Minister of Education at that time. She must take responsibility for why that particular child, that particular girl could not speak English. We're joined now on telephone by Dr. Emmanuel Shehu, who is an active member of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign in Abuja. Good morning, Doctor. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm terrific. Well, briefly, we want you to intimate us with what exactly transpired in Abuja. We understand that the Bring Back Our Girls campaign was supposed to have a match to the Aso Rock. What exactly happened in Abuja?
Well, the match was supposed to take place 2 days ago. On Tuesday, we had written formally to the presidency to notify them of a match. You would remember that in a couple of weeks after the abduction and the blatant body language of denial that there wasn't such a thing until the international community intervened after we had started campaigning for the truth to be told and for the girls to be rescued. We then wanted to engage the president and concerned citizens with a blueprint of the way forward. But you would recall that the president deliberately refused to see us and had us cordoned off at the secretariat and then sent a team of ministers who then met us. And so we felt that since we're in the week of global action for the girl child with focus on the Chibok girls, we should re-engage the president because the emissaries at that point in time had made promises which, as I speak to you now, have not been fulfilled. And so we wanted to re-engage the president, and since he is our president and it's a democracy and we have a right to meet our president, to find out, Mr. President, what's up? You know, as the street lingo goes. But unfortunately, even though we had an acknowledgement of the letter, we woke up on the morning of the march to find that our meeting point and our regular venues had been taken over by folks who had assaulted us some months ago.
Okay, just before you go on, Doctor, I understand that you wrote a letter. Was that letter acknowledged? And were you...
It was acknowledged.
It was acknowledged.
Even the ministers who came and let us acknowledge that they were briefed on the letter and they were asked to come and meet us.
Okay, so I want to believe that the delegation of ministers that joined you in Abuja were representatives of the presidency. Would you agree with that?
They represent the president, but they don't have the clout of the president. So they are two different things. Yes, they represent the president, but they are only emissaries. They can't make commitments on behalf of the president, and they can only be diplomatic in their responses, which of course was what happened, and which was part of what led to the exchanges. And of course, we're also rude and very condescending in their initial opening remarks, and which we refuse to accept.
It's all right. Let me quickly pick you on that, because if they represented the presidency, we saw a drama that ensued where Obi Ezekwesili actually told the Minister of Water Resources and said, "Shame on you, Sarah." Given the precedent, you know, of Bring Back Our Girls campaign group that has been also dubbed as an anti-government group, what do you think this statement by your leader, what contribution do you think this would do, contribute rather, to the progress of this campaign?
Unfortunately, the media killed the report. I wish footage of that exchange will be played back, and you would hear where it was Sarah who first used a snide remark, because when the girl Rebecca Isaac was introduced, every person said, "This girl is going to speak in Hausa," which
It's all right, Doctor. If you agreed earlier that they were representatives to Mr. President, could that also mean shame on you, Mr. President?
Of course, why not? If the president is setting blatant lies, shame on the president. This is in my own capacity as a Nigerian, We voted Johnson as the president. We didn't vote Shekau. So the president should be man enough and behave as the commander-in-chief. Respect begets respect. If you know the weight of your office, you should behave and allow your office, the respect of your office, to extend in such a way that people would also respect it.
It's all right, Doctor.
About it. Shame. I mean, if the government builds on lies and propaganda, I mean, how long are we going to tolerate that? If we're talking about the lives of 219 Nigerians, the president swore to protect Nigerians and provide their well-being. Is that happening?
It's all right, Doctor. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you'll find time to make it to our live studios in Lagos soon so we can have enough time to discuss this more extensively. Dr. Emmanuel Shea was an active member of the Bring Back Us Girls campaign, and of course, throwing his weight behind Obi Ekwesili's statement in Abuja in the march on Aso Villa Rock, where she categorically said shame on you to the Minister of Water Resources. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll activate the race for 2015 presidential election. Buhari at it again. Stick around.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, our 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of
The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Until the end of our time, as the legitimate authority to govern this country.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on Core TV News.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emotan of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as weak, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Thanks for joining us again on Core Digest Thursday edition. Just yesterday, former head of state Muhammadu Buhari declared his intention to run yet again. I'm joined now this morning by a legal practitioner as well as an economist, Fred Ziako. Good morning, thank you for joining us again.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, sir?
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's a pleasure always.
Thank you.
It's getting more interesting by the day,
yes.
With aspirants coming up every other day. But I think observation, it looks like as a team, the three people seem to be on the line. The incumbent president, former vice president, as well as former head of state, people who have contested before.
Yes.
What do you think will make 20 different this time?
With due respect to some others who will eventually join the fray, I want to first start this our conversation by appealing to those who have kidnapped Mr. Okewale, the erstwhile president of Nigerian Bar Association, to please release him on hot, unconditionally, and immediately. Mr. Wale does not deserve such heinous kidnap, does not deserve such handling, judging by all the efforts he has made as an individual in the legal profession to fight for the rule of law and for the rights of Nigerians. I want every Nigerian of good conscience to join me in this clarion call for the immediate release of Mr. Okewale. Now, I want to also tell you that this is a season of decision for Nigeria and for Nigerians, and it is expected. Nobody will say that he didn't know that a time like this will come. We knew right from 2011 after the elections that 4 years will mean 2015. And then as we inch closer to 2015, many more people will come out to contest. It is the beauty of democracy, but the only thing is that whoever that is contesting should know that there is a fair play in this game, and then there is a procedural process that must be followed. And above all, that the will and the wish of the people must always prevail. Now, the game changer in 2015 election, the way I see it, will be issues and not personalities. Issues. What will make the difference between one contestant and another, between one political party and another, will be issues that pertain to national development, people's welfare, and the social well-being of Nigeria. I think Nigerians are getting wiser by the day. Nigerians are getting more knowledgeable by the day. Nigerians will no longer tolerate charlatans that will come and rhetorically begin to repeat all those electioneering issues that we had in the 60s, in the 70s, and the 80s. No. This is the time for Nigerians to begin to take issues one after the other, pass them through the crucibles, and then look for the man or the woman that they feel or deem will further the interests of this nation.
Given the outpouring of people that we saw yesterday,
yes.
The love, in fact, some papers, reported that there was stamping in that area, and of course, the solidarity shown by stalwarts in the APC. Are we looking at the most popular candidates that the opposition has to offer in 2015?
the people you see at rallies and campaign grounds do not reflect the popularity, so to speak, of politicians. One, there are so many people in Nigeria, so many. It's a nation that boasts of a population of over 160 million people. So at the slightest opportunity, you see a mammoth crowd. You recall that even when President Jonathan has not declared and people are holding rallies in his honor, begging him and asking him to please come and declare so that he will continue the good works he has been doing. According to those people who consider his works good, because not everybody will agree that they are good works, and that is the beauty of democracy once again. It's a different folks for different people. Now, secondly, some of the people you see at crowds and rallies are rented crowds. At rallies and such outings and campaigns are rented crowds. These are people, some of them come there because they have been chartered to come, because they have been induced to come, and because they hope that something will come out from their attendance of such rallies. So, give and take, it's not a true reflection of the popularity of the candidates. So those are two main factors: the huge population of Nigeria, and then the renting of crowd that politicians indulge in will tell you that will kind of give you a facade of popularity of that politician. What comes to play at the end of the day when the chips are down is the number of votes that politician was able to garner.
Easily generalize like that, because I recall the grand rally that Ayole Fauci had in Ekiti State.
Yes.
Quite an overwhelming attendance in that particular stadium, and it reflected in the votes.
When Fayemi attended his own rally, was it not overwhelming? The rally was grand. There were so many people. There were so many people, and it was a grand rally. So it is not a reflection as I speak. And moreover, because you see a sea of heads, when you count them, do they really translate to the number of millions required to win an election at presidential level? To start with, to win an election, you must win two-thirds majority of the states, and you must win overwhelming majority, or well, not overwhelming, the majority of votes cast. Now, if there are 26 million registered voters, for instance, in Nigeria, let me just use that. I don't know the number now that INEC has, but let's say 26 million, which was the last election, the number in last election. If there are 26 million voters, how many people do you think will be in a stadium and the stadium will be filled up? Take, for instance, the seating capacity of the largest place in Nigeria may be about 80,000. And when you see in picture, in camera, where 80,000 people are seated, it will be massive. Meanwhile, in a electoral process, 80,000 is not even enough to elect a senator, not to talk of a governor or a president. So it's not a true reflection.
I understand you.
Yes.
Let's look at the candidacy of Buhari as an aspirant for the APC.
Yeah.
The last declaration we had from the former vice president did not really attract much of the APC's thoughts. In this particular rally that happened yesterday, we saw about 4 governors present there. We saw APC chieftains also present. What does that tell you, even before primary elections?
You recall that prior to the declaration of General Muhammad Buhari, he went around the country. You recall that he came down to Southwest, shopping. I use the word political shopping. Shopping for leaders of the party to attend his rally. Extending personal invitation to them to attend his rally. Some leaders did not attend, and they gave their reasons. That their reason is that they don't want to be seen as supporting one candidate against the other. Now, Atiku did not do similar shopping, and his declaration was more quietly arranged than that of Muhammad Buhari. Atiku did a private declaration, and from my own understanding of his own plan, I'm not in his team, I don't know what he has in mind, but from my own analysis and understanding of his own plan, he possibly will say do a mega rally. His was more of a private declaration.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to ask the MCR to play you the almost immediate instant reaction from the PDP to that rally by Doyo Kupe, who happens to be a senior special advisor to Mr. President.
Yes.
He made certain statements. We're going to get there. I'm going to give them some time to set for that clip. But beyond that, you look at the candidates, the prospects that the opposition has.
Yes.
Of course, Tambuwal has not formally declared moving away from PDP to APC.
As we speak, Tambuwal is in PDP.
He's still in PDP.
Yes.
Well, how will you describe the kind of romance that we have seen, recently between the Speaker of the House of Reps and APC chieftain?
I think such purported romance is mainly in the realm of conjecture, media conjecture. Some politicians would want to fly kite. I cannot call that romance because Tambuwal is still sitting in the hallowed chambers of the House of Representatives as the Speaker of the House on PDP platform. So, if he has personal alliance with anybody, of course, you can't take it away from him. Belonging to a political party does not mean that anybody who is in the opposition political party will not be your friend. If he has personal friendship with anybody in any party, you don't take it away from him. And if he has one or two things to do with such person, maybe attend his function, maybe visit him, maybe do one or two things with him, you don't know where they started. They may have been friends.
So you don't seem to see anything.
I don't seem to see any such hobnobbing, politically speaking, with the opposition. Tambuwal, until he makes a formal declaration of his intention to leave PDP, then we begin to see him in that light.
Let's take Doyo Kupe's response to Buhari's declaration of his interest to run for presidency in 2015. Stick around.
That when you have a sitting president and he is interested in a rerun, usually he's given the first the first choice of refusal. And the president is here to make public his desire. But this news from Sahara reporters is absolutely untrue. It is falsehood, and we deny it in all its entirety. It is aimed at, is part of the calculated attempt by the opposition to try and throw everything into the arena to embarrass this president. They've done this for the past 4 years. It has not worked. It has not deterred him. He has remained, focused. He has kept his eye on the ball, and the transformation agenda to the glory of God has become a grand success. Their declaration, our participation, is not a threat to us. They have never won elections before. Somebody who has contested 4 times and failed 4 times, I mean, for instance, what is Buhari going to tell Nigerians now? What's the new thing? He was the former head of state, a military head of state, but that's all he has done. But since then and now, what is the new thing he has acquired? What is the new thing, the new story? You cannot compare I will do with I have done. It's not possible.
Okay, welcome back. You heard him first talking about rumors coming from an online news agency that Mr. President is planning to elongate his tenure as president of Nigeria, and then he goes ahead to react to Buhari's declaration. Would it be right for him, as a representative of the PDP, to call Buhari a serial failure?
It does not. It does. I don't think, personally speaking, it amounts to any insult. If he has spoken what he felt is the truth. If, for instance, General Muhammad Buhari has contested 3 times and lost 3 times, that is the fact. And if by his own estimation and opinion that it has amounted to failing 3 times, if he feels that it is serial, because this is an election that comes once every 4 years. It comes once every 4 years. That means General Buhari has been on the beat for the past over 12 years.
Okay.
He contested in 2003 against General Obasanjo, President Obasanjo then. He lost. He contested in 2007 against Yaradua. He lost. He contested in 2011 against Jonathan. He lost. And he's come back again. But I give it to him that he is a war horse.
Dogged and determined.
Very dogged. A man who is determined with what he believes in. You cannot take it away from him anytime, any day. And that tells you that he has some kind of burning passion, whatever that passion is in him. And I believe that everybody who wants to contest for any political office has one passion or the other that he wants to propagate. And that is why Dino Okupe is saying that in his own estimation, that he will not equate I will do with I have done. And he has brought the issue back to what I have said earlier, that most of the issues in this election, most of the campaign issues will be issue-based, because President Jonathan is coming with a record of his achievement and successes. General Buhari, for instance, will come with a record of his past achievement when he was military head of state and what he intends to do. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been vice president for 8 years. He obviously had some successes and achievements and something that he intends to do. Any other person, trickling it down to House of Assembly members, those who want to contest, they have something burning in them that they want to do for their people. If I'm going for the House of Assembly, for instance, there is something burning in me that I want to do for my people. Either to ensure that good men come into politics so that we don't lay back and begin to criticize, because gradually, Nigeria will continue to march towards sanity. It may be gradual, it may be slow, but I tell you that election of 1979 was different from election of 1999. And then going forward, with this current dispensation in the Fourth Republic, 1999 election will definitely be different from 2015 election.
Well, as we begin to round up this segment,
yes,
there are also issues as we get, because one of his promises to Nigerians is in the area of security.
Yes.
Many have made reference to his experience as a former general. Do you think that is a strong point that will be tabled in 2015?
You mean strong point in favor of Muhammad Buhari?
Exactly.
I don't think he's any strong point at all, because he's not going to be the field commander. As the president, you are the commander-in-chief. You only give instructions. The field commander will discharge their duties. He's a retired general, and he left military at least 1984 that he left. We are looking at 31 years ago. So a lot of things have changed.
Many have said that possibly
a lot of things have changed. So it doesn't make any difference.
But I've been referenced possibly because the incumbent president doesn't have any military experience. That's why it's taken so long to tackle the issue of insurgency.
The incumbent president, does he carry arms? Is there any instructions that he's supposed to give that he has not given? Is there anything that he's supposed to do that he has not done as a commander-in-chief? General Obasanjo, when he was in power, there was insurrection here and there.
Bear in mind that there are still 219 Chibok school girls still in abduction.
Those are challenges. The ISIS are terrorizing.
I think it's not a challenge of leadership.
Those are challenges that are around the world. The ISIS are terrorizing the Middle East. Al-Qaeda terrorized America, terrorized Britain, terrorized other parts of the world. Those are countries that have strong military institutions. Boko Haram is terrorizing a section of Nigeria, and they have not been allowed to continue to have a field day. Okay. Government has been battling them and battling them to stand still. Gradually, we begin to hear good news coming out from the war front about the successes made by our military. Yet, don't forget that there's a lot of sabotage within the system, which we wouldn't want to dwell to at this point.
Finally pick it up on his age, because that has also been a subject of debate. It's over 70 years there.
Yes.
Some are saying that. Do you think age should count in the pursuit of leadership, genuine leadership?
Much as I believe strongly that there has to be a paradigm shift of grooming young ones, because they say the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. Are they going to lead in the grave? They have to be groomed when they still have vitality in them so that they will be able to move the country forward. And every other civilized country of the world is shifting towards that paradigm of bringing forward their youth who are still agile, able, capable, well groomed to be able to lead the country, because it is a lot of responsibility. But that does not mean that getting old is equal.
Does it even look 70? Can you show us the picture again?
That does not mean that getting old is equal to senility, because you can see somebody who is about 60, but he will be so old, even in his mind and his body. And there are others who are above 70, and they are still strong, depending on the natural composition of that person. But I want to believe that the younger, the better for this country.
It's all right. You didn't ask him as a question. Is Buhari too old to be president of Nigeria?
I don't think he is too old to be the president. But in the event where there are other younger ones who can equally do the same, I believe he should retire.
All right, we're going to Ekiti now, where there is transition ongoing between the APC-led government and the new PDP government. Much talk about it. When we come back, that's exactly what we'll be doing. And stick around, don't go away. It's Core Digest on Core TV News.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
The end of our time and the legitimate authority to govern this
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
To anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on Core TV News.